increasing your resilience so that you're stronger. You can face life from a point of stability. Bullets would bounce off your back. I can't talk for you, of course, but I am tired of hearing all about resilience. The reason why, not just the word, just the approach of building more resilience. And I am, by the way, of course, guilty of using that expression, you know, like things like that can roll off your tongue so easy, can't they? Because they're everywhere. I have used them in marketing. I have used them in, you know, fact sheets and things that I give to my coaching clients. Because, of course, it's a language. It's a word that means something for the people that I work with. But for me, what I don't like about this whole approach of building more resilience is because if you think about the word resilience, it's exactly like how I started this clip. It's all about being able to push back or being able to stand there and take life's pressures. And I do understand that that is, you know, like anti-snowflake or anti-fragile type thing. But again, when you're being resilient, for me, it's like, well, what was that feedback? What was that stress? What was that weakness, as some people would call it? What was that telling me? Well, that was telling me about exhaustion. That was telling me about stresses that I needed to identify and then change or neutralize, get away from, drop that shit. If you had a diet where you was reacting to things that you ate, consumed, they triggered things in you that weren't obvious, like eczema or, you know, headaches or runny nose, but the things that you don't realize. So in my experience, if I drink certain brands or types of coffee, I get like a nervous, stressed feeling. Things that I'm finding is pointing to mold in that coffee. So if my body's sensitive to mold, why would I need to just say, well, be more resilient to this type of mold? Because that's pointing to something that I need to work on, I need to change. And in terms of training, exercise, people are training all out and someone somewhere is telling them, be more resilient, push through. A phrase I don't hear so much now, but I did some years ago, which was like, you know, crawl out the gym, you've trained so hard. I'm tired of hearing about resilience. I don't want to build resilience. I want to have natural strength and the sensitivity within my own system to recognize things that aren't good for me, things that I need to change. Because if not, they are like shit that you got in a rucksack you're carrying around for nothing. Don't be more resilient and carry a heavier rucksack. Be more efficient in your approach and take some of the stuff out of the rucksack. That's the way I see it anyway. Feel free, of course, to disagree. That's why I like having these conversations. But I don't see the point of just firing up your ego and talking about more resilience. More sensitivity towards what's going on will eventually get you to where you want to be quicker than just resisting it all. Because resisting depends on what you have. So why make the journey any harder by resisting and not recognizing what you could just drop, which is useless to you? It's great for you to watch some video, you know, about some special force guy or some athlete, fitness influencer telling you to go harder or you're weak. But they don't have your stresses. You hopefully haven't had to face situations where your life is dependent on you being very strong and direct like those messages are. That's where those messages come from. This, of course, is or could be a very lengthy conversation. I'm trying not to make it too long. For me, what's the point of being more resilient when the weakness, as some see it, helps me distinguish between what I should drop and what I should keep? So just my thoughts on resilience and how being resilient could just keep you stuck for longer.